Welcome to Board Ghost, a story broadcast with games as the engine.
If living is a highway, then heaven is a bus stop. Been waiting for a minute there, but has it been forever?
We believe you're out there, hungry for stories for shared experiences. We can't see you, can't hear you, yet we will play for you. This night's offering is a continuation of our game of Follow. To learn how we play the game or how we generate our stories playing the game of Follow, go check out our Follow Rules Primer. It's by Ben Robbins, same guy who did Kingdom, which is another game that we've played a couple times. Our humble players, myself, John Holt, with me.
Ken Breese, as always, Board Ghosts, here to entertain you.
All right, welcome. And Stacey, welcome back for the
Thank
second
you very
part.
much.
Before we get back into our Follow, real quick, we have our goal, our quest is the show. It is a high school production. We are a first-time crew together. We have almost no idea what we're doing. And the last show in this space at this high school was a disaster. And we haven't really gotten to the details of what happened, but we've just sort of like hinted at the edges of it being bad. Enough that they have
A little bit of
they've
fire
sort
and
of
arson,
like, yeah,
perhaps.
they've closed the theater completely and turned it into science labs. So I guess they don't even do like auditorium like announcement thing. What are those called? Like assemblies.
Oh yeah, there's nothing along those
They
lines.
just don't even do it.
No gatherings whatsoever.
They just don't want to tempt fate. The challenges so far have been to get a place to perform, which was something that we said would take about a month, and we succeeded in that. And then the next challenge, which we're in the midst of right now, is building the set, which we said would take a couple weeks. So that is 1 to 2 weeks. And that's where we're at. Our characters, I'm playing Kennerth Foley. He's a washed up star. He used to do the high school announcements as sort of the closed circuit station at the school. And he wants his revenge. He wants to prove himself out on the school. And he wants to be sure to be spotlighted and get not be upstaged by any aspect of the production. And he looks to the stage manager, Samantha, to give him that, but she is resistant. That's Stacey's character.
Yep, I play Samantha Perkins. I'm the stage manager. I'm cautious. I really don't want us to make fools out of ourselves. Her relationship is with the director, who she really is looking for a mentorship that she very much admires. And she's getting a little frustrated because she feels like Ken Foley is taking over, and she's worried that Gwen's vision is going to get messed up in the process.
That's right. And I'm playing Gwen Rush, an 18-year-old director. She very much wants to provide meaning to the audience, to challenge them and make them think through the actions of her players. But more specifically, she really wants forgiveness from Kennerth Foley. When they did a production together earlier, specifically the school news TV program, she put Ken in a place that really made him look bad. And she wants to make up for that. She wants his forgiveness for that. Additionally, oddly enough, she and Samantha have had a romantic relationship to some degree. She's sort of like not giving Samantha almost like the time of day because Samantha won't be in a relationship with her. So it's sort of a fraught friendship or association, I guess.
All right. And our kind of minor characters, we've got Mrs. Duffy. She's the head of the drama department. She seems to be sort of, helping things move along as best she can. She doesn't seem to have a huge part in this fellowship, but she's in it with the kids to help get it done. She doesn't seem to be throwing up much roadblocks. All right. And what's your minor character, Stacey?
My minor character is John Todd. He is the understudy to Ken Foley. Ironically, when Ken Foley lost his announcership job, John Todd took that over, and now as understudy, he's really kind of hoping that Ken will mess up so he can just take over the play as well.
My minor character is Melvin Sparks, the 16-year-old sophomore. He's the sound and light tech. Basically just sort of a pushover, just does what everybody tells him to do. He doesn't have much of a stake in anything besides making sure the lights and the sound work the way they're supposed to. We also have a few other sort of peripheral characters. Principal Belt, Coach Roberts, a few other people at the high school that we've sort of identified.
Yeah. Again, we have a primer for follow that's been up for a while. And if you are one of our patrons, we should be having a follow how to play video that's exclusive to a tier of our patrons. So if you are amongst our patrons, thank you. And you should have access to that. And another perk that we are providing to our patrons is instead of getting half the episode each week, or not episode, half of the story each week, you'll get as we have it available. We try to give you both halves at the same time when the first one drops. And again, that's patreon.com/boardghost if you want to check that out. But back to the show. So we are going to get into our scenes. I think that it is Stacey setting up the final scene of this challenge.
And remember, our scene is set around building the set.
Mm-hmm.
Did I
And,
say
and
set
we don't
too
want to
many times?
complete the set in this. We won't know if we've succeeded.
That's right. We're only moving towards it. We'll draw.
This is some aspect of that.
Okay, I think what's happened is we have gotten as far as we're going to have these projections up on the goalposts, which are supposed to be tasteful photos of Ken Foley, which Samantha wasn't sure what that was all about and what we're getting. So I think this scene would be set up where, well, I kind of want to bring back the principal.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So I think Samantha would be there, and I think Samantha would be there, Gwen would be there, and then
And
the principal would
Belt.
be there. Yeah,
Got
like he's
it.
basically come to kind of check out because he's heard some. He
So
wants to see.
are we giving him a tour?
We're kind of giving a tour of what the set's supposed to look like
Okay.
because he's heard a couple things and he's a little nervous. He just
Sure.
wants to see what this is all about.
And I'll kind of throw Mrs. Duffy is off to the side. If that
Yeah.
works
Yeah.
too.
Perfect. Mr. Belt is a traditionalist. He's an old school principal, way into capital punishment when it was a thing that could happen.
Do you want me to play Belt? And
Yeah.
So you're Gwen. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So So he's there checking it out.
Well, Principal, this will be a show focused on an anti-bullying message. As you can see, we haven't done many changes to the football field. It should remain the same. We're going to hang a few sheets here.
Yeah. Just don't. Coach is pretty adamant that we not do damage her field at all.
Well, we are going to have to wheel out a cherry picker onto the field, but we'll keep it on the sidelines.
There's a cherry picker. I'm sorry. What does that have to do with the play?
I'll let my stage manager explain that to you.
Okay. Mr. Belt, we're going to have this scene where our narrator is going to descend from the cherry picker on wires. We've got the cherry picker was donated by the Crane Company, if you know.
But I'm so
Cranes. if
Cranes,
you're familiar
yes.
with
I know Mr. Crane. He's a good guy, but is this necessary? Like it seems like it's a student who's going to be being lowered.
Yes, Ken Foley is going to be lowered from the crane, and we also have these projections. I haven't seen the photos yet, but we do have the sheets set up. I don't know if
The photos will be of Ken Foley painted like a statue. And both projections will be up on either side of the field representing both the bully and the savior.
But so who's the narrator?
Well, Ken Foley's the narrator.
And he's the bully and the savior.
That's right. The adjudicator really is his main role, that he will descend upon the field to adjudicate the bullying and really deliver the main message of the piece.
So he's gonna. I'm sorry. You're gonna have a kid being lowered from a crane.
With the cherry picker, we didn't have enough budget for a crane, though. If you would like to approve a budget, we can get a crane.
I don't think this is. I can't legally discuss what happened during the last production that we had, but I don't. Let's table the crane. I'll talk to Mrs. Duffy about that and see. I have no idea. I don't know what to say to that. Let's look at these photos. I guess I don't. Is that what else? What else do you have to show me here?
I have them loaded up. I haven't seen them. Should I
guess
go ahead?
now is the time for the big reveal. You're here right
Sure.
at the right time,
All
Principal
right.
Belt.
Let me turn on the projector here, and here's our first photo.
Oh,
Gwen,
I
you want to explain this
see.
one?
This is more of a nature scene. A possibility for our positive, our hero. He won't be so unclothed on the field.
I mean,
This is more of an ideal.
You look at Principal Belt and his eyes, like his jaw is hanging down and his eyes are bugged out, and he finally snaps to and he's like, turn off the projector.
But I quickly turn
this
it
is
off.
boa constrictor.
This is a minor whose naked body you're projecting.
With the boas covering up the,
Gwen, let me take this. Mr. Belt, we hadn't seen these photos before.
Is that a boa?
Ken had tried to decided to
Or is
have
that
gone ahead and
him?
did the photos himself. So I can assure you, sir, that we will set up another shoot, that there will not be anything along these lines or to this level, right, Gwen?
That's
we'll do another
unless
yes.
this is
I think you can tell that Mr. Belt is not happy with these pictures, Gwen, and I think we should go ahead and redo this photo shoot. Believe me, Mr. Belt, had we known that these photos were of this objectionable nature, we never would have projected them for you. I had been assured by Ken that there would be nothing along these lines, but
maybe
Gwen has been very busy with the production, and she kind of let Ken.
Possible that these
Ken
are
did-
a mistake. He must have given us these by mistake.
I really hope so. At this point, I'm gonna have to see these photos before they're used. I'm gonna have to clear all the aspects of this production. You're gonna need to put together a full proposal and run all this by me now. There are quite a few things. The cherry picker is literally just the cherry on top of a nightmare ice cream sundae, from what I'm seeing. And that image. If this is where we're headed,
Mr. Belt, I can assure you we will do what we can, but and yes, we will try and get you all these elements, but you also have to take into account, sir, that the production is opening next week, and we've already sold quite a few tickets.
But don't worry, we got all the kids' parents to sign off on it.
We have waivers that were signed.
I don't want another Oliver.
Oliver.
I've said too much.
Scene.
Now we're going to decide whether this challenge of building the set was successful or not. If your main character is unhappy about the path the Fellowship has taken, hold 1 red stone. If your main character actually wants the quest to fail, hold 2 red stones. Otherwise, hold no stones. 1, 2, 3, reveal. All right. So that goes in the pot.
Again, Sam gets the 1 red.
1 red stone. So why is Sam not happy with the direction the Fellowship has taken?
She feels like Ken has taken over the production, that Gwen's not standing up to him, and that they're basically going to get shut down before they even get a chance to open the play because of all of the shenanigans that has happened.
Yeah, and I mean, I can speak to Ken is really excited with the direction that things have been going, and his pictures prove that.
Oh, so that wasn't a boa.
No, it was. They needed a big snake to cover his excitement.
A big snake.
As a player, do you think the Fellowship did what was necessary to succeed at the challenge? Hold white if yes, red if no. If a player, you think the Fellowship did what was necessary to succeed at the challenge. Ready? I'll reveal on 1, 2, 3. Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
All right.
very interesting.
So Ken. Oh, let's start with Stacey. Why do you think that they're doing what is necessary to build the set?
I think this kind of goes all down to they don't know really what they're doing. So I think the Fellowship, from all of their perceptions, is they're doing everything they think they can do to make this a success. I don't think anyone is. I think they're really putting their heart and soul into it, but they all are diametrically opposed as to what really needs to be done to have this happen.
I mean, for myself, I think they aren't doing what's necessary because they aren't actually like collaborating or listening to one another. They're just taking a crappy idea and just doing it and blowing it up. And so, yeah, what about you, Ken? What's your...
I was more focused on why it wasn't going well in terms of the authority figures that needed to really give the sign off, that the principal is really not being convinced, the coach isn't being convinced. Like, there are these authority figures in play that I don't think are satisfied.
So now we're going to draw 2 cards. Red,
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
red.
Ooh.
Okay.
That
So,
means
red. A character betrays or is betrayed by the fellowship and is lost, and we lose the challenge.
Anybody have an idea about which character should go?
I think Samantha.
You think Samantha should go?
Samantha should goes to Gwen and basically says, "This is ridiculous. This is, like totally, and it's like you have to kick Ken out of this production." Like she basically is like, it's if you do not do this, I have to. It's pick.
So Samantha is like an ultimatum, like me or him, basically.
Basically, yeah.
Right.
All right, and Gwen chooses Ken.
Yeah.
So Samantha's kicked out of the production, especially because Samantha and Gwen have this sort of like weird physical or emotional relationship, or don't, I guess, as the case may be, or they did at some point, but they don't anymore.
She feels she's still very protective, I think, over Gwen, and she still is like, she's very frustrated with this whole situation. She's like, I cannot believe that you're just letting him do this.
I think that makes perfect sense. It's almost like you lose respect for this person. You're like, you don't have anything to teach me. Like the things that you're doing are kind of wrong, in fact.
Well, not only that, but like I can't see him take you down like this.
Right.
Like I care about you too much as a person. I can't sit there and
So
stand
I
by and
can't
watch
be a
this.
part of it.
Yeah, I can't be a part of this because at the end of this, I don't know what this is going to do to you.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. For all those reasons and more, Samantha leaves the production.
Samantha leaves. All right. So here's the question: are we betraying Samantha or is Samantha betraying us?
I think we're betraying Samantha, I guess. At least I am.
All right.
Because at the end of the day, Samantha's a damn good, stage manager. Like we want Sam on our team, but because of how I feel about Kennerth, I have to choose Kennerth.
All right. So the show must go on.
Show must go on.
I'm sure Ken would love to have Sam off because
Exactly,
Samantha is just like, now with that person off, maybe we'd actually get a stage manager who will give you your glory.
Perhaps, yeah. And so also as we go out of this, like, how does this play out with like the set not being built?
Right.
What does that mean?
The set. Well, I think what it really comes down to is that we don't have the projections on either side of the field. So all we have are some weird sort of like rhomboids that we've
like
sort of like
props.
paper mache rhomboids that are set around. They almost look like, what's that? What was that old show? It wasn't Ninja Warrior. It was the other one, like Laser and,
American
American Gladiators. Like they're these weird sort of like,
just shapes.
yeah, like shapes. They almost look like they may have been like maybe football sort of like bags that they were using to practice, like weight bags or whatever. And we've sort of like repurposed them.
white.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's just like
It's a very abstract stage.
yeah, like sparse.
Yeah, very sparse and abstract. It's tough to tell exactly what's going on.
All right. And Sam sort of storms out over this.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
All right. So we kind of are now don't really have a set per se, just a stage.
We just have a
with
stage.
props.
I mean, there's a set. I mean, it's not great. But it's there. All right. I think I choose the last challenge. Yeah. I think I'm just going to go straight to perform. I think that's where we are. Our challenge is to perform.
So what makes this difficult?
I think a big challenge here is that we don't have our stage manager.
Right.
So the cues are like, I mean, we're kind of fucked in a weird way. That we like nobody knows how to run the show, so we're winging it basically. Like I guess the director maybe is trying to fill in for stage manager, or is it Melvin Sparks, the
Or
sound
just
light
like
tech?
like a cobbled together thing of it. Yeah.
Yeah, like everyone's trying to take a piece of Samantha's duties to try and take on, basically.
Yeah.
So I think that's really it. The challenge is trying to replace Samantha because she's irreplaceable.
How long is this going to take? Is this an evening or?
It's an evening,
It's an
yeah.
evening,
It's
yeah.
one night only. Kennerth will set the scene.
Okay. So I'm saying the scene.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. All right. We'll go with dressing room, but like there isn't really a dressing room.
No,
because it's like a
it's-
football field.
It's like the shower or
right.
like
Like the
it's like the
lockers. or
the
whatever, yeah.
med tent.
Right. He's there running through, like everyone's kind of running around, getting their costumes together. I think like John Todd would be in this scene. He's kind of sullen because he was hoping, like what part does John Todd have when he's not playing the narrator?
Or he's probably just one of the extra lighting, running around with the flashlight
like an
kind of
extra
guys.
light, like
yeah.
a lighter. So
Oh,
like
so he's not even in the play?
No, he's
not,
like
he
in a
has
black
no- he
unitard.
has-
He's like an extra
yeah,
stagehand.
so he's
Oh,
like
that
an extra
sucks.
extra crew guy.
Yeah,
he's
extra
not
crew
even
guy.
in the play. All right,
All
yeah.
right.
he's just
So
an extra
he's
crew
kind of
guy.
like, so he's like adjusting his turtleneck. Or
Exactly.
whatever, right? And so Ken Foley is like doing vocal exercises and like, this is Kenneth Foley. This is Kenneth Foley for Action High. This is Kenneth Foley for Action High. Okay. Yeah, I think like he's kind of, I think the thing is, he's pretty nervous. This is it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the only person, he hates him, but he's like, there's a reason he became my understudy and was replacing me. The only person he can talk to about this is John Todd.
Yeah. Only person who understands.
Kenneth Foley.
Your breath sounds a little shaky there.
John Todd. John, how do you warm up? I mean, I've been out of the game for a while. You know this. I'm going to be straight with you here. This is a lot for me, John Todd. There's a lot riding on this.
True. Very true. You did leave in a bit of disgrace.
It's all Rooch, too.
Have you tried meditation?
What would I say? I mean, some sort of mantra. What do you go? John Todd. Is that your your
It might work
mantra?
for you.
Let me try
breathing,
that.
actually.
This is John Todd for Action News.
You're about to do a play, not a newscast.
It's narration. It's the same thing. It's talking out.
Yeah, you want to be careful about
putting-
getting too newsy with
I'm
your
putting on my
narration.
performance.
I understand that.
This is
You
the
need to breathe
voice,
through
the
it.
voice of that can be trusted, the voice of truth coming across. That's the key here. And do you think Rooch is this another trick? Is she setting me up, John Todd?
I
Are they
don't
just
think
going to
so.
laugh at me again, John Todd?
I don't think so. You okay there?
This is a lot, John Todd. I must tell you.
Your eyes are looking a little wild there, buddy. Here.
I need to. I'm
John
sweating
Todd.
through. It's so hot in here. I'm sweating through my makeup.
John Todd pulls out a flask and hands it over.
Ooh.
What is this?
A little nip of courage. It'll do you good.
So this is your secret, huh? This
Well,
is
it
your
keeps you
game,
calm
John
before.
Todd.
It keeps you calm before you got to do a broadcast.
How old is John
Just
Todd?
not too much, though.
He's just like,
Oh, slow down there, buddy. I said a nip,
Oh.
not the whole
Oh.
thing.
Kenneth Foley. Oh, that is hot stuff, John Todd. There's a fire in my belly. This is good stuff, John Todd.
Wait, did you have anything to eat today?
John Todd, you know I need to look good in that toga, in that silver suit.
All right, well, don't take any more. You're going to be in trouble if you do.
Oh,
Wait, Jesus.
John Todd.
Oh,
This
here,
is.
give me that back. You finished the whole thing off.
It was a small flask, John Todd.
Not that small. That was single malt there, buddy. Not
We
cheap
need to
either.
teach these children, our fellow students, about bullying.
Here, take some water. You're going to need some water to follow that down.
Yes, stay hydrated. You're right, John Todd. You're a good man. You're a good understudy, John Todd. I can do this. When's my cue?
Places, everyone.
Break a leg.
Don't say that. You know what happened to the quarterback. Thank you, John Todd.
All right. Who's setting this scene?
John Todd sets the scene.
Oh, John Todd sets the scene. That's right.
John Todd's feeling a little bad for Ken, realizing Ken hasn't had a lot of opportunity since the whole situation. So they're getting ready to do places, and he decides he needs to let Gwen know that there might be an issue because he might need to be pulled, and if he does get pulled, it might also be a little bit to John Todd's advantage. So he's going to seek out Gwen
Okay.
to let him know that he saw Ken taking a couple nips from a flask before the production.
Okay. Where are we meeting?
Is it like the wings or something?
Yeah, are
Yeah.
we in the
Whatever those
wings,
would
or are
be.
we? Yeah.
Yeah, in the
are we
wings,
In
I
the
think.
wings, or are we in the?
Gwen would probably be in the wings, right?
I feel like directors normally watch the show from the audience.
Maybe you're like
or-
under the bleachers. 'cause
Yeah.
You can kind of like look.
There it is.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I'm
you're
under
under
the
the bleachers. Okay.
Yeah, I'm hanging out under the bleachers,
Okay.
and I'm having a cigarette as
Okay.
you show up.
Mm.
I'm like secretly smoking a cigarette, and I put it out real quick. John Todd.
I didn't know you
shouldn't.
smoked.
Yes. All good directors smoke, John Todd. Maybe this is something you would learn the more productions you do. It's important to calm the nerves. Do you want one?
No, I'm okay. But speaking of calming nerves, I just have to let you know I was in the dressing room with Ken while he was getting ready, and
Oh, good. You two are getting along?
a little bit better. He seemed pretty nervous. He actually ended up taking quite a few swigs out of a flask before he got lined up.
Flask?
And I don't think he had anything to eat today.
Who gave him this flask?
It was mine, but I had it on the counter and he just grabbed it.
Oh, grabbed it?
Yeah, just grabbed it and took a couple big swigs. I thought he was...
Oh, no.
I just want to let you know because this is something you
no.
might want to be aware of in case he starts to get a little...
What did you... Was he slurring? I mean, how did he seem?
Well, not quite yet, but, in the next 10 minutes, we might be in trouble.
I'm glad you told me about this, John Todd. Are you ready to go on if needs be?
I am if you need me to, definitely.
Well, we'll see. I mean, Kennerth, this is his time to shine.
And I understand, and I wouldn't want to take that away from him either, but you should be aware that, I know this is a show without an intermission. You might need one.
I'm glad you told me. I'll have to check up on him, John Todd. You go get dressed, get makeup on, just in case.
Will do.
All right. Oh, Kennerth, why? And I guess that's the end of our...
Yeah, as you kind of turn back as you hear the minimalist soundtrack start, it's like ho ho see ha hum ha hum ha hum ha ha hum ha, the sort of overture.
Yeah, exactly. And the extras are coming out. They have been training with this sort of paper mache Chinese dragon that's sort of coming out, and they're doing this sort of
like a weird
dragon dance
thing version of it.
Yeah, it's very
hum ha see hum.
Exactly. Yeah. It's metaphorically supposed to represent, people's fears. We're just setting the stage.
All right. So you are.
I am me. I am Gwen Rush. And I think Gwen is confronting Kennerth right before the first scene.
When he narrates.
Right,
well,
exactly.
The overture's still kind of
the
rolling.
overture's still rolling. And I think John Todd is there as well. Sort of
ready to go.
Yeah, getting it
getting on his silver suit.
Getting on his silver suit. Exactly.
And the second harness for the wires.
Exactly. The John Todd sized harness. Exactly. And I'm saying, let me smell your breath. Come here.
What do you mean, smell my breath? I'm
this is
almost on, Gwen.
This is an important ritual that I perform at the beginning of each of my shows. Let me smell your breath now.
Are you trying to do the same thing you did to me before? You trying to ruin me?
No, Kennerth.
Are you trying to give me a new script? Some new statement?
I don't want you to ruin yourself or to ruin this production. I've been trying to bend over backwards to give you this shot, to clear your name, to catapult you to stardom. I know.
What are you wearing, John Todd? What is he wearing?
John Todd.
Why isn't he in his black jumpsuit? Where's your flashlight, John Todd?
I'm just here at the ready, just in case you need me.
This understudy is ready to step in should our primary player not be able to perform his duties.
Hook me to the crane, I'm ready.
I don't think I don't think it's a good idea.
Of course it's a good idea. You don't understand. This is my chance. This is a chance for Kenneth Foley to shine. What is wrong with my voice?
Ken, don't do this. Don't do this, man. This is a bad idea.
This is a good idea. The show must go on.
It's true, and I wish for you to shine, Kennerth. But I am very concerned. Please recite your first line for us.
No, I have it. There you see them, these children before you.
I mean, technically that is correct.
Yes, technically that is correct.
I don't want to waste my performance. I'll give you so I say, yada, 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 these children, the things, and then I say, what do I say? They will learn the badness of the bullying.
That's not exactly as I wrote it.
The language is... I'll get it in the flow. Again, you had me break my flow. I don't want to waste my performance.
Miss Duffy, we need some water over here.
Wait, what? here's some water. Wait, why are they both in jumpsuits?
We're figuring it out, Miss Duffy. Don't worry.
It's fine. It's just in case we need to do some double work. That way people think that he'll stand with his back turned to the audience. It's a great idea, John Todd.
Very well.
Like
back
there's
turned
two
to
of
the
me.
audience as if there are two of you, almost like the statues we were talking about. And I get close to Kennerth, and I sort of take him in sort of a hug as I bring him close, and I say into his ear, "This is it. We are clear after this. I owe you nothing."
And then that's when the wires start to
Yeah,
pull him up.
trying to pull him up. The cherry picker.
Like, wait, who buckled him in?
Wait, I thought that was Samantha's job.
So now we're going to go to the third challenge draw.
That's right. We need to draw to see how this final challenge goes.
So we're gonna
how
start.
the performance goes. The set wasn't built. We were able to find a place to perform, which is great.
If your main character is unhappy about the path the Fellowship has taken, hold 1 red stone. If your main character actually wants the quest to fail, hold 2 red stones. Otherwise, hold no stones. Okay, so I am very happy.
You are.
So why is Gwen unhappy?
I think Gwen's unhappy because she's realizing that Kenneth Foley is a loose cannon to some degree, that she just can't trust him. She's having a real tough time putting her faith in him. And a big part of her is really wishing that Samantha was here.
Okay.
So I think she's just really unhappy or slightly unhappy with the way this is going.
And why is John Todd not happy?
John Todd wants to be the one that's up in that cherry picker.
John
Doing
Todd
that
wants to be on the
glorious
wire.
entrance and descending down upon the audience.
As a player, do you think the Fellowship succeeded at the challenge? Hold white if yes, red if no. This will decide the entire quest, not just this challenge. Do you think we succeeded at the challenge?
Oh, man.
3, 2, 1. Yay!
Because even if it's a shit show, the audience is going to love it.
Exactly.
Even
That's what I
more.
was thinking too. Even if it is a shit show, the audience is going to be
Probably
entertained.
love it more.
So now we go into
good point.
first card. Oh,
Ooh,
red,
red.
1.
Oh,
White.
black.
So what does that mean? Red, white. Lose 1 character, but win the challenge.
Ooh.
So someone is gone, is lost, but we've won the challenge and the quest. So who is, and not betrayed, like lost. So who's lost in this?
I for whatever reason I'm leaning towards Gwen or Mrs. Duffy. I'm not sure which of those two, but I feel like it's one of them.
I mean, Ken could totally lose too.
It could be Ken.
I
Like
was going to say Ken falls, or Ken falls on John Todd, and John Todd we
and John
lose.
Todd's gone. Yeah.
I mean, and losing can also be like,
yeah.
lost to obscurity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Kennerth, and you guys chime in too. He gets out there. It's a fiasco. Like it's again, like legally we aren't allowed to talk about exactly what happened. But suffice it to say, Kenneth Foley does not attend the high school anymore.
No. I feel like the pictures come back somehow. Like he was able to rig up
Right.
his own projectors and like presses 2 buttons and like
Yeah.
his pictures
Yeah, his own
appear.
stuff
And it's
is up
like
there.
distributing, like you
Yeah.
might be on a list or something.
Oh no.
So,
Yeah. Yes.
So Ken Foley, not only became the laughing stock again, either dropped
just
out,
like a pariah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like bad.
either dropped out or like left or was kicked out of school or some combination therein.
The most tasteless art.
Yeah, and is no longer amongst those who live at the school.
Those who dwell at the school.
So now we're going to go to the epilogue. So now Miss Duffy is my main character now because Ken Foley is toast. So yeah, show us whether your character feels the quest was worth it. So we're just going to each narrate a quick little line about our character's life post-quest. We could stick to just the immediate fallout of the quest or go big and summarize the rest of their life. It's up to you. I'll start with Mrs. Duffy because it seems like she's pretty clean and even. Does that make sense?
Yep.
She's a new character. I think Mrs. Duffy probably would have been fired if Kenneth Foley hadn't taken so much of the heat. She's stripped of her head of drama department title. They actually, again, closed down the drama department. She stays at the school. Whenever someone asks her about the play, she kind of looks off in the distance and says, I didn't really have much to do with it. They came to me when they wanted to start it, and I was more of a passive, they just needed an adult to help sign some forms. And that's what Mrs. Duffy does. She kind of disavows.
Love it.
John Todd, because
John Todd.
because John Todd has to have all of his family's very supportive of things. They like to film everything he's involved in. So they filmed the whole production.
Oh.
And John Todd thought it'd be smart to hold on to it for a little while. And every so often, he releases it under new accounts on YouTube and makes a bunch of money before they make him take it down.
Because he has the evidence of the crazy shit that went down. I love
So every
it.
so often he does it, puts it up for a little while, then takes it back down, and is able to make quite a bit of money off
got
of
that YouTube money.
license. Yep.
Awesome. For Gwen Rush. Gwen Rush had great success as a director of this show. Even a bit of like avant-garde cachet, because it was so controversial, because it was so shrouded in mystery. It's this very weird thing. But she did direct it, and she is able to sort of trade on that. She gets into Juilliard. She starts directing off-Broadway shows. She marries a wonderful and beautiful costume designer. They're a power couple in the New York City theater scene. And then her final achievement is writing an award-winning play titled Ollie and Ken.
All right.
And that's it, I guess.
That's
our
tale.
follow.
Yeah, that's how it goes. With that, our story ends. We will return again with a new tale to spin to dare to entertain. I was one of your players, John Holt. You can find me on Twitter at LordJoho and on Instagram at board_ghost. You can find my book club podcast at woundandstab.com, and you can find my media discussion recommendation podcast at newtoyoushow.com. Ken, where can people find you?
You can find me, Ken Breese, all over the interwebs at Berling's Beard, Berlings Beard. I'm on Twitter, Instagram. Find me on YouTube for my D&D stream. Also, if you're in the New York City area, I am a for-hire dungeon master. Hire me to run your games.
All right. And Stacey, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Stadomo, Stadomo.
All right. And keep looking out for what if people want to see your stuff when it does start to show.
Yeah, on
what
Instagram,
station?
yeah. Once I get the...
You get the go-ahead?
Yes, once I get
Awesome.
the
Get the
go-ahead.
thumbs up.
All right.
Oh, and don't forget to mention Board Ghost Patreon, which we love as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So again, if you're already a patron, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And if you'd like to be, go to patreon.com/boardghost, where you can learn more about the rewards and what you can do to help us in collaborating to make the show. We would really appreciate it. And if you aren't in a position to make a financial contribution or collaboration, then you can do something amazing and let people know about the show. Go spread the word. And if you are making a financial contribution, heck, spread the word too. Let more people know about this thing that you love so much you're willing to help us make it. But thanks again to everyone who listens, and thanks to the people who make these great games. That's my pitch.
That was a lot of fun tonight, guys. Thank you so much.
Great game.
So you can attempt to pierce the veil and contact us at Board Ghost World on Twitter. Shout out through the ether if you have desires we can fulfill. Leave reviews and comments on iTunes, your preferred listening portal. Take a moment to subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest episodes. We'd like to thank Pat Couples for our theme song and interlude music. You can find more about Pat at patcouples.tumblr.com or on his band's website, hotelsandhighways.com. If you're not alone in the void, share our stories. The more they are consumed, the truer they become.
I don't agree with